Hi there, this is David, and I had quite the experience with Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered over on the Twitch. As such, all the footage that you see here comes straight from the Twitch during my random job challenge. So please be sure to follow and subscribe if you'd like to be able to join in on more fun playthroughs. Final Fantasy V is in my top 3 favorite Final Fantasy games, so I've played through it like a million times. Sometimes I just use whatever jobs I wanted, other times I would give myself job restrictions of some sort, or I'd try to make it through without buying anything else besides, like, magic. And I've also done the 4-job Fiesta, and truly, I have really used every single job in existence. But this random job challenge was something else. It was the hardest challenge that I have done yet, and I would dare say that it might well be one of the hardest challenges that the game could possibly offer. In all the other challenges, you can plan ahead, and you can really have your characters learn and master the particular jobs that they're assigned. For example, in the 4-job Fiesta, you assign one character to one job provided by each crystal. For instance, Bartz gets one random job for the Wind Crystal, let's say it's like a White Mage. And then everybody else has to be a White Mage until the Water Crystal's unlocked. And then Ferris gets assigned the Mystic Knight, for example. Then he could have something like 3 Mystic Knights and 1 White Mage. And then this goes on throughout the first world as you gather the 4 crystals, really allowing you to master each job that you're assigned, buy specialty equipment, plan your fights, and spread your abilities around to best advantage. The random job challenge that I did does not allow that. Essentially, what I implemented was a dice system where the first green dice was 1 through 4, and that would correspond to a character, while the second dice would correspond to a job. Once I hit the Wind Crystal, a Twitch viewer would request a job change, and then I would roll the dice. And if the first dice was 1 and the second was a 5, the character in the first slot would change into a job the 5th on the list. And that's how my playthrough went for the course of the entire game. Because of this, my party was pretty much never balanced, and I had to choose secondary abilities on the fly. I can't tell you how many times I was stuck with Berserkers and Time Mages in the early game, or times whenever I didn't really have a healer during a hard boss fight, and then getting to the Fork Tower was particularly menacing as well. Other times I was blessed by the RNG and I got a halfway decent party with some physical attackers. It was all completely random, and I was really never able to specialize in one job and then learn the better, higher up abilities. Even just getting something basic like White Magic level 3, Gaia, Blue Magic, Steel, or Sing was a cause for celebration. The challenge forced me to use all the various jobs in completely unorthodox ways because I knew I wouldn't be able to stick with them for the long haul to get the nice, powerful abilities. One particularly hellacious part that I remember was the horrendous party that I was stuck with during the Karnak Castle escape sequence. I literally made it out with under 10 seconds left to spare. It was one of the most nerve-wracking experiences of my life, but I did it, and I made it through, and I had fun with it. It was really weird because some jobs would consistently roll, like that Terabad Time Mage, and then others never rolled at all, like the Black Mage, Mystic Knight, and the Monk. Bartz was the first character to get some halfway decent things. First with Blue Magic, then with Gaia, and I was absolutely thrilled to have access to those, and I was very lucky that 3 characters ended up learning some decent White Magic. Lena and Galuf eventually got some decent things as well, such as high-level Summon Magic. But Ferris just kind of got a smattering of crap. Even at the endgame, our poor lovable pirate's best ability was something like Equipped Swords. Big whoop. This is a very interesting way to get through the game, however, I don't really know how you could possibly replicate it in a natural setting without the use of the Twitch. One thing that I will say is that the sequence between the Water Crystal and the Fire Crystal was easily the worst one and the hardest. That's because the Wind and Water Crystals gives you the vast majority of your magical-based jobs, and at this point, the Summon and the Time spells are just hot garbage. Then you have the Joker or Berserker Doom thrown into the mix too, so you have a disproportionate chance of rolling a heavy magical party without access to actually decent magical spells. The number of times that I had 2 Time Mages in my party as well as a Berserker was ridiculous, and it just became absolutely nightmarish to try to accomplish anything. However, after the Fire Crystal, with the introduction of many more physical-based jobs, it did get better. Another interesting thing that I really didn't think about whenever I began the challenge was just how scarce money was going to be, because you can't really plan on who's going to be in your party at any given time. So you're constantly trying to buy the latest and greatest equipment, but for every single job. I quickly found out that that was a losing battle. So, for the most part, I focused on getting daggers since the majority of the classes can't equip those, and then relying on some hand-me-down treasures to fill in the other gaps. After buying all the magic spells, I just simply couldn't afford any of the other good stuff. I suffered my way through the end zone with my only saving grace ironically being a time mage. I gave a gold hairpin and just had her spam meteor over and over and over again, destroying everything in her path. It's about time that useless class actually came in handy. Right before fighting X-Death, about 5 different random rolls came in back to back, which changed all of my classes up, and then they became melee only. I had 2 dragoons, a dancer, and a samurai. And anyone who's played Final Fantasy V knows that you really need magic in the final fight, so I was hoping for something like a summoner, a white mage, or a blue mage, but no such luck. So, X-Death was quite the struggle, especially because I actually ran out of money to throw at him, and I pretty much had to beat him down summoning Bahamut over and over again, while everybody else just healed her and fed Lena elixirs. But after a long and hard struggle, we beat him on the first try and saved the world from the void. One of my favorite things is to allow audience participation. Back whenever I Let's Played games on the channel, I would read comments, but the audience could only participate after the fact. However, on the Twitch, the audience members are able to interact with me in a live setting, and it really adds a whole other facet to these classic games that I know and love. This playthrough is easily the most interactive one that I've ever had, and I do look forward to other random job challenges, maybe for something like Final Fantasy Tactics, or just adding other ways to further increase audience participation into my future streams. I hope that you guys all enjoyed my look back at the unique way that I went about playing one of my favorite games. I do hope that this inspires you to maybe look at some of your favorite older games of your own, and then play through them in a different way. If you like this video and wanted to hear on the channel, please consider supporting me over on Patreon, heading on over to Twitch for some streaming fun, or joining the Discord to chat and hang out. The links to them all can be found in the video description. This has been David. If you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.